Hello, my name is Professor Hudson, and this is a video tutorial on how to post in a discussion forum. One of the first assignments that you are to complete is introducing yourself to the class using a Blackboard discussion forum. To find the discussion forum, there's two ways you could access it. You can go to Learning Modules and click on the unit or module that has the discussion board assignment in it. Or you can also click on discussion topics and it will list all of the discussion forums for the semester in one place. For Learning Module 1, one of the first assignments is class introductions. And so if you click on Learning Module 1, Orientation Part 1, and scroll down until you see M1A, Class Introductions. This is the first assignment that you are to do according to your syllabus. Click on the link, and it should take you to the discussion forum, and it's listed here, M1A Class Introductions. And then you're going to click Create a Thread, and this window should open up. And for the subject, you could just put your name and state that it's an introduction. So I'll put Professor Hudson's Introduction. And then in this box that says message, this is where you would put in your introduction. And so just tell the class a little bit about yourself, such as what degree you're interested in, what you like to do in your spare time, how do you feel about taking hybrid classes or online classes, things like that. So once you've typed in your introduction, you can do two things. You can click Save Draft if you would like to save it as a draft. But keep in mind that saving it as a draft means you're going to come back and work on it later. And so I cannot actually see it at that point. And so in order for you to receive a grade, you have to make sure that you click Submit. So if you do decide to save it and come back to it later, make sure you actually come back to it later and click Submit after you finish working on it so that I can see it on my end. And once it's properly submitted, an exclamation point should show up in Gradebook so that I know that you've submitted it, and then I'll input a numerical grade. So I'm going to click Submit. And so it should show here the date and time that I submitted the introduction, and it says published. Now, if you submit an introduction and you don't see it listed here, you might want to check display and make sure show all or published is highlighted. If you select drafts only, then it will not show the published post. It would only show stuff that you're working on and that you have not submitted. So if you know you click submit and you can't find it here, just check to see and make sure you have show all, which will show drafts and ones that have been officially submitted, or published only, which will show ones that are posts that are officially submitted, but it won't show drafts. And the other part of this assignment is you're going to have to read someone else's introduction and respond to theirs. And so if you see someone's introduction that you'd like to respond to, then you would click on their name or their introduction and then click reply. And then you can type a reply to that person's introduction. And then, of course, make sure you click submit when you're ready to have it graded. For this type of assignment, you most likely won't see an exclamation point until after you've not only put your introduction, but you've also responded to one of the persons in the class, because it's 2 parts to this assignment. And so when both parts have been completed, then the exclamation point will show up and alert me to the fact that it's time to grade your submission. So I'm going to cancel this. I'm not going to actually post a reply to myself. But here is my posted introduction. And so when you're done with that, then you can go back to learning modules and click on Module 1 Orientation Part 1. And then you can go ahead and do the next assignment, which is syllabus review. And the syllabus review is done in a similar fashion, except for this assignment, what you're posting is actually the answers to each one of these questions based on your understanding of the policies in the syllabus. But you would do it in a similar fashion in that you would click syllabus review. You would click create a thread. You would put your name and the name of the assignment under subject. And then in the message box, you would type the answers to all of these questions. Like if you wanted, you could copy these questions into the box and then write the answer to each one underneath the question. And then make sure you click submit when you're ready for it to be graded. And for the syllabus quiz review assignment, which is what's showing now, you don't have to respond to anyone else. So you should see an exclamation point after you submit your answers to these questions. So I'm going to click cancel because I'm not going to actually submit anything. And I'm going to go back to learning modules. Learning module 1, orientation part 1. And so those are the 2 assignments that require the discussion board forum. Class introductions. And remember, to get full credit, you have to not only post your introduction, you have to respond to someone else in the class. And make sure you look to see how many people it says for you to respond to. Some assignments, it will say respond to 1 person. Sometimes it'll say respond to 2 other people. But whatever the requirement is, you won't see an exclamation point and therefore won't get a grade until you make sure you've completed all parts of the discussion forum assignment. Okay. And then the same thing with the syllabus review. Just once you put your answers in for these questions, just double check the instructions to see whether or not you have to respond to anyone else to get full credit. So that concludes the tutorial on posting in the discussion forum.